The strange thing about betrayal, it doesn't always break you. Sometimes it introduces you to a stronger version of yourself. After that hallway conversation, Alina changed, not on the outside. On the outside, she still looked like a recovering patient, polite, quiet, moving slowly in her wheelchair, thanking nurses, smiling gently at visitors. But inside, her mind had sharpened again, like a blade being polished. She stopped seeing herself as a victim. She started seeing a case, her case. Alina began paying attention to everything: who signed her medical papers, who handled her finances, which son avoided eye contact, which one spoke too quickly. 35 years in law had trained her to read people the way others read headlines. And the story was becoming clear. During her coma, her eldest son, Daniel, had been given temporary power of attorney. It made sense at the time. Doctors needed decisions, bills needed paying. But temporary power has a way of making people feel permanent. Alina never accused, never confronted, never showed suspicion. Instead, she asked soft questions. How are my accounts doing these days? Is the house okay? Did the insurance cover the accident? Simple, harmless, motherly. Her sons answered casually, too casually. That told her everything. At night, when the hospital lights dimmed and the halls went quiet, Alina would lie awake, staring at the ceiling. Not crying, not angry, thinking. Rebuilding her strength wasn't just physical now, it was strategic. She began pushing harder in rehab. If the therapist said 10 minutes, she did 15. If they said rest, she asked for one more try. Pain became background noise because she had a goal. And Alina Hayes had always been dangerous when she had a goal. One afternoon, her physical therapist joked, "You're awfully motivated. Got somewhere to be?" Alina smiled faintly. "Yes," she said. "I have a home to return to." The therapist laughed, not realizing how literal that was. Max still visited, older now, slower, white fur creeping around his face. But the loyalty, untouched. He'd rest his head on her knee while she practiced hand movement, like silent support. One day she whispered to him, "You waited for me, now watch me work." His tail thumped softly. 2 more months passed. Then came the day doctors cleared her for discharge. Her sons arrived together, cheerful, organized, slightly nervous. Daniel spoke first. "Mom, we've arranged a really nice recovery facility, just temporary. Full care, great staff." Alina looked at him, calm, gentle, sharp. "A facility?" she asked. "Yes, just until you're stronger," he said quickly. She nodded slowly like she was considering it. Then she said something that made Daniel blink. "I'd actually like to review my financial and medical documents first." Silence, a tiny pause but a loud one. "Oh, sure, Mom, later we can." "No," she said softly, "tomorrow." Her voice wasn't loud, it didn't need to be. It carried authority, the kind that doesn't fade with age or injury. Her sons exchanged glances. For the first time, they remembered who she used to be. The next day, a folder arrived, documents, statements, authorizations. Alina went through them slowly, page by page, line by line, her lawyer brain waking up like it had never slept. Withdrawals she didn't approve, decisions made on her behalf. Conversations she was never part of, nothing illegal. But plenty questionable. She didn't react, didn't accuse, because great lawyers don't show their cards early. That evening she made a private call, not to family, to an old colleague, a retired judge who still respected her. The conversation was short, professional, quiet. When she hung up, something in her eyes had settled, like a storm deciding its direction. Her sons thought discharge day meant transition. They thought they were guiding the next chapter. What they didn't know, Alina was already writing it. And this time, she wasn't the supporting character. She was the author, the woman who took back her life. Discharge day arrived quietly. No drama, no big announcement. Just a wheelchair, a small bag of belongings, and a woman everyone assumed needed help. Her sons stood around her like coordinators of a plan already decided. Daniel smiled. "We'll take you to the recovery home first, Mom. You'll like it there?" Alina looked at him for a long second, then she said calmly, "No, take me home." The hallway went silent. A nurse glanced up. One son shifted his weight. Another forced a laugh. "Mom, the house isn't ready for you yet." Alina's eyes met his. Sharp, focused, awake. "My house doesn't need permission to welcome me." That tone, that exact tone, they hadn't heard it in years, and it unsettled them. The drive was quiet. Max rode beside her in the backseat, his head resting on her lap like he was guarding something precious. When the car finally turned into her street, Aliner's chest tightened. There it was, her home, but something felt off. The garden wasn't cared for the way she kept it. The paint looked dull, one of the porch lights was broken. Small things, but to Aliner they spoke loudly because details matter, and details tell stories. Inside, the house still held memories, but it no longer held her touch. Furniture had been rearranged. Family photos were missing from the hallway. Her favorite reading chair was gone. It felt like someone slowly erased her without admitting it. She rolled her wheelchair inside like a general surveying a battlefield. Calm, observing, calculating. She said nothing. That worried them more than anger would have. That evening, she asked for a family dinner. All four sons, no excuses, they agreed, slightly nervous, slightly curious. Dinner was simple, takeout food, awkward smiles. Then Aliner placed a folder on the table, the same folder. Documents, statements, legal papers. Her sons froze. Her voice was gentle, but every word landed with precision. I spent my life protecting people from being taken advantage of. I never imagined I'd need to protect myself from my own family. Mom, it's not like that, one started. She raised a finger slightly, not rude, just final. I am not angry, she said. I am informed. She slid one paper forward, a property discussion draft, prepared but unsigned. Plans to sell her house, split assets, arrange long-term facility care, all without her direct consent. Tears filled one son's eyes. Guilt surfaced in another's face. Daniel tried to speak but found no words. Then Aliner surprised them. She didn't threaten, she didn't shout, she didn't say, I'll sue. Instead, she said something heavier. I know you love me. But somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing me as a person and started seeing me as a responsibility. Silence swallowed the room. That house, she continued softly, is not just property. It is my life, your childhood. Your father's memory, her voice cracked for the first time, and I'm still here. Then came the twist. She placed one final document on the table, a legal revocation. Power of attorney canceled. Financial control restored to her. Property protection trust established. All prepared legally. Signed that morning with her colleague. Her sons stared in shock. Wheelchair or not, she was still 10 steps ahead, always had been. I am not taking anything from you, she said calmly. I am simply taking back what is mine. No drama, no revenge, just boundaries, real ones. Weeks passed. Something changed in the house. Her sons started visiting more, helping more. Listening more, not out of fear, out of realization. They almost lost her once. Then almost lost her again in a different way, and they knew it. Aliner never fully walked again, but she moved with strength, wheelchair and all. She restarted mentoring law students online, volunteered remotely, even began writing a book. Title, still standing, Max never left her side. Every morning he waited by the window like he had during those 2 silent years. But now she was awake to see it. One evening, watching the sunset from her porch, Aliner whispered to herself, life doesn't end when you fall, it ends when you stop rising. And she had no plans to stop. Sometimes the strongest comeback isn't about proving others wrong, it's about reminding yourself who you were all along.